So hi everyone, I'm Elizabeth from Sacred Earth and Storm School, and thank you for joining me. I did a short video on Saturn going into the new sign of Aries on the 24th stroke 25th of May, which is very, very close because I'm filming this on the 22nd of May. But what I also would love to just speak about briefly, because I feel this is such a great opportunity to be more aware and to make new, really informed choices, is about the fact that it's, we have Saturn moving into out of Pisces into Aries, but it would be joining Neptune that's already in Aries, and they will form, they're almost conjunct, which means that they, in the same place. They're not totally conjunct. That will only happen next year in February, on the 20th of February, but they are going to be very close in degree. And then also, as you may know, what's happening is later on in this year, they both will be going so-called retrograde and going back into Pisces. And then finally next year, they will be going back into Aries, and they will be exact in their conjunction. They will be exactly in the same place. So obviously there will be a huge impact with these two major outer planets being exactly in the same place of our zodiac. And most importantly, and this is what I'd love to talk about in this short video, is that it would be, on the creator point or Aries point, 0 degree Aries. So that's what makes this so very, very unusual and rare. The different kind of degrees of rarity, but this is really very, very rare because it is on this creator point of Aries, and Aries is just it's a very important thing. So Aries is the in the zodiac, in the Western zodiac, it's linked to the sun. So it's basically really saying where the sun starts to appear again after a cold winter. So it's kind of linked into the northern hemisphere change of seasons in a way. And Aries, this point of Aries, the 0 degree of Aries of the zodiac, is this new beginning. And someone called it, and I think this is so beautiful, it's like the gate of breakthrough. It's like the sun breaks through the cold winter, and it's a new beginning. So I would love you to feel the sense of, new beginnings sounds great, but it doesn't really have that energy. But this is like the breakthrough of the sun. It's a completely new beginning. It's like the horse bolts out of the stable. It is going forward. It is going out. And so that's the kind of energy that we can tap into, because it's that sense of absolute new opportunity, and also regeneration. It's like it's a clean start, and this is for ourselves, but also for our planet. And there's an immense opportunity at this time and for the next also until next year, etc. As we know, this is really pivotal time, very, very important time for our planet. We're laying the foundation in a way that we'll never be able to lay again. And every time has its own importance. I don't believe that, one time is more important than another time. It's a constant evolution, and there are different opportunities. But this is just an amazing opportunity to, how shall I say, almost get our ducks in a row and to really start from a really beautiful, clear new beginning. And as we know, with Saturn going into Aries and joining Neptune, Neptune dissolves. So what they've been doing, even when they were in Pisces in the last while, is that it's been dissolving structures, the old Saturn, which is oppressive, hierarchical systems, unintelligent systems that really just have not served us, and it doesn't serve our beautiful planet. So yes, this is this energy of spring, of breakthrough, of You know, the horse is running out of the stable and it's going outside into the sunshine, and it's free. You know, so we have that sense of, for ourselves in our personal life. And this is an opportunity, really, because of Aries. And I just like to speak a little bit about Aries as well, because I feel that, you know, Aries is very almost like put into a box, and there's a lot of wisdom, you know, in astrology about that. But there's so much more that we can now discover and receive from these, you know, planets in terms of our awareness. And I feel that sometimes Aries is also really kind of almost put into a box, and it's, oh, it's about this and this and that, and that's it. There's actually a lot more to Aries as well. And these two planets are moving into Aries. So the big thing is that, you know, Aries is the first sign, as we know. So it's the I am. And that's why people that are born under this sign will have a very strong Aries influence. They have a very strong sense of their own identity. You know, they quite self-assured in a way. They just, I am. You know, they don't have to explain it. They don't have to ponder it. They're quite straightforward energy in a way, in people. You know, they like to have action, but they have a sense of self. So it's very much about the individual. So with these two planets of Neptune already being in Aries, and Saturn very soon, in a day or two, joining, you know, also going into Aries, there's a very strong push for the I am. And there's a question saying to you, who are you? Who are you really? And because Neptune is in this kind of combination, Neptune is saying, hey, it's got to be spiritual. This is not just 3D stuff. You've got to take it into the unseen as well. But Saturn is form, and Saturn says, no, make it real. It's also got to have a form. What does it look like? Saturn is the big manifester. So there's this beautiful balance between Neptune saying, it's not just all about the physical and the material and the form. And Saturn says, I get that, but it's also got to have form, because this is structure. Structure is important. So this is a really great opportunity, and this will continue. But if you want to, you know, receive from this, receive from the heavens, receive from these beautiful alignments that we're blessed with, ask yourself, who am I? Who am I really? And who am I becoming? And who would I love to be? Who is the real me? This is not about making it up. It's about being authentic. And, you know, as you may know, they've calibrated, you know, the frequency of love and joy. But you know what is the highest frequency? This is my cat joining me. The highest frequency, higher than love and joy, is actually authenticity. So the more authentic we can be ourselves, and this is what we're busy discovering. And this beautiful conjunction that will be exact next year is actually saying, bring together your true spiritual self, discover, start to look for it, dream about it, find it, focus on it, because what we focus on, we become aware of, the mindset. So who are you? And what is your dream of the true you? And what does that look like? And start to take some risks, because if we don't take risks, we can never discover anything new. And just know as a given that that will be uncomfortable, that will be sometimes fearful. But you know, we're becoming more aligned, we're becoming stronger, and it's no longer going to hold us back. So in this Aries discovery, start to really dream about, who are you? Who is the true you that you are becoming? Also as this new human, because we're evolving to something that we've never ever been before. The human body is evolving. So much is changing. But it's important now for us to dream, to be in the question, and to make those choices. And to start taking that action of you know, how shall I say, being in the question and illustrating it to ourselves, this is what we're moving into. This is what we desire, because we are creating reality in the now. We are creating, everything is existing already, but we are directing it. We are manifesting it in terms of our desire, of our heart's desire. So, Neptune is really good to connect us to our higher chakras, our higher heart, whereas Saturn is more our base chakra, I get. So, it's really easy now to go into our heart, our higher heart, our intuition, to say, what does it look like? Maybe it's completely different to what we've ever thought, the little mind has ever told us. We are. So really start to become excited about this, because there's so much about this astrology, so much is going on, and it can be sometimes really overwhelming. And also, our bodies are having these high frequencies that we have to adjust to, etc. But I'd love you to feel, because I feel this for me, the sense of excitement, the sense of this, like a new dawning, and this thing of resurrection, that we're busy resurrecting ourselves, our bodies, this beautiful planet that has had a lot of destruction, that we've created as humans through our ignorance, through our forgetfulness. And then what I'd love to also talk about Aries is that the Sabian symbol, some of you may be aware of it, it was kind of brought through in 1925, I think, by Elsie, I forget her surname now, Elsie Wheeler, that's it, and Edmund Jones. But every symbol, for every single degree of the zodiac, they brought through very sacred imagery. And the one for 0 degree Aries is actually beautiful and quite surprising, because a lot of people see Aries just as, oh, it's inspiration, but it's also, the lower frequency is war, it's aggression, it's very masculine. Aries is, and Mars, that rules Aries, has actually had quite a bad rap in lots of ways as well. With Saturn, it's seen as the kind of bad planets, or, you must be careful with them type of thing. But really, there's so many more dimensions to this. And the image, the Sabian symbol for this, that Elsie Wheeler, forgive me for forgetting your surname, brought through, is actually the image of a woman rising out of the sea. Isn't that interesting? A woman rising out of the sea, and she's being embraced by a seal. So I've just been to Easter Island, Rapa Nui, and I have such a strong intuitive feeling and knowing that our seas, there are massive revelations that are going to come from our seas. Whether that's in terms of ancient civilizations that are going to be discovered. I mean, Rapa Nui is is off Chile, and Chile, they discovered some mountain ranges under the sea already, I think last year. So, there's a lot of wisdom that will also come out of the sea. And when Uranus goes into, also changes sign in July, into Gemini, virtually immediately, it will also conjunct Sedna, which is an asteroid, or one of the further out heavenly bodies or planets, one could call them. And Sedna is all about the sea. She's that beautiful myth of being thrown out of the boat by her father and transforming into dolphins and whales and beautiful creatures, sea creatures. So the seas are very, very important, but it's very interesting that even Aries, the first degree, 0 degree of Aries, and the Sabian symbol is linked to the sea, and women, the feminine. So there's a sense of the feminine rising, with this beautiful movement of these planets into Aries, and the conjunction between Saturn and Neptune. the feminine is rising, but the seal, in a way, some people also say they interpret it as the masculine. There's a beautiful harmony where the feminine is rising, but the masculine is very protective. And Mars actually in mythology is often also seen, and it's not always spoken about, as a protector. It's not just this warring kind of energy, that just creates mayhem. Mars can also be seen as a very beautiful masculine principle of protecting. So yes, so let's tap into all these amazing, interesting, infinite kind of concepts, that we're busy reconnecting with, remembering, exploring, creating with. Because yes, we stepping into the future, we're creating from the future, and so much is possible. So let's really receive. Everything is a function of receiving. That's how we create now. So let's open our hearts and receive and make the most of these opportunities, not because it's a burden or because it's we have to or whatever, but just because we can, because life can be truly exciting and rejuvenating. So let's choose that. So with so much love, Elizabeth.